Hey, you know what is also the right answer? Welcome to the Skull Hunter podcast. This podcast is brought to you by Anchor, your all-in-one platforming needs. We are a little laggy. We still don't know why. Possibly know why. We don't know. But thank you, Anchor, for sponsoring the podcast. So you'll hear about them a little bit later in the audio realm. It's Independence Day. We also have Joseph. We have Charles. Happy Independence Day. I'm rocking the America. It was National Canada Day. Like 3 days ago, right? It was the first.
Today's the 4th. Canada Day is the 1st.
Okay, yeah. See,
so if you're dual citizenship, you are partying hardy this weekend. Let me tell you something,
dude. They put so much effort into it in the town I live in because literally we have a curfew in our small ass town, and it's like you have until 10 o'clock to be loud as fuck, and then after that, no more. And our town raised it on the 1st to the 5th, and it's like now. You can be as loud as you want until midnight. So I also have not been going to sleep until past midnight. Not of choice, but when you have fireworks going off, sound like gunshots going through your house, you don't want to sleep. That's not a sound you want to get used to falling asleep to. So
this is like one of my oldest bits since I ever took any crack at comedy. But like if you got to kill somebody, like July 4th is the night to do it. You just have to make your gunshots sound like fireworks. So you go pow, 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 pow.
Or
is it done?
Or no, you buy fireworks.
I don't think there's any more in that. Pow, 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 pow.
Or you just buy more fireworks. So and then you shoot somebody and then light off another one. And then we're like, oh, we missed the first one, but here's the second one. Okay, and then just walk away. I'm guaranteeing there's probably someone dead right now in my town. Someone just died. So, but you know, it is what it is. But how's
I'm also curious about the causal relationship between all of these explosions in the sky and then all of the soldiers who have PTSD and how that those two demographics are increasing at the same time.
And this thing's gonna get taken down when it gets uploaded there.
Thank you, YouTube. So, I mean, no, it won't get taken down unless if we say, and then we get canceled. Man, I would love to like really focus on that edit part, but it's not worth it. But yeah, it's Independence Day. Charles, we're gonna ask you first. How's your day been? How's your week been? You know, how have you been?
I've been doing all right. My week's been all right and everything. Work surprisingly wasn't as bad as I was expecting it to, and I had pretty good fun time spending with my girlfriend before I hopped on here.
Nice. There were some talks in the Discord, and me and Joseph have the same 5-year-old mindset, and I love it. So before we got on, Charles was like, "Hey, I don't know what time I could be here because hanging out with the girl." And of course, being supportive, but like, dude, you do what you got to do. She always comes first. And I wanted to say something, but I was like, no, I actually want him to take this seriously. So if he can't make it, he just doesn't make it. And then Joseph takes over and just goes, bow chicka bow wow. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy. Someone else did it. I love that we shared the same mindset. I've been putting a lot of time
in the Pokemon Sun.
If you guys weren't red versus blue fans, I wouldn't have done it. But that was like a semi-red versus blue reference.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wait, Tex, there's something I got to tell you. What is it? I got a hardline Tex can use.
Bow wow.
How did you even hear us? I'm like Superman. I know when I'm needed.
I love it. I love it. So you were playing Pokemon, and what else?
Not much. There's been since I got my internet back, kind of. I've just been playing stuff on my Xbox, mostly Destiny.
Right on. Yeah. So your internet went out, and guys, that's probably why it's a little laggy. So please forgive us. Also, it is what it is, and no production is ever perfect. So it's just listen to it. The audio can't be that bad. Just listen to it. Just listen to us and look at me because I'm wearing America. I'm sponsoring
my parents get freaking
America.
Whenever my parents get the DirecTV thing, they're supposed to be getting this Friday or whenever it is. Then they aren't using this thing anymore. It probably won't be as bad. That, and if I have to, I'll freaking see if I can find out like a cheap ass desk and I can freaking just rearrange my room and I just use one of the Ethernet cords I have from was connected to my Xbox One before and just move stuff around and
I think that one needs to be the option. We need a new scene. I've changed it up a bit. I have a new scene. I hate it kinda because my wall V's like this, so nothing can ever be straight behind me. So it's frustrating as shit, but it works. But we need a new Charles background. We need a new Charles background.
If I mean, if I could, I could just move my laptop over there next to my Xbox and everything. But I don't know how I'd be able to. I'd have to also move this thing over there, but it has to be. But we were told it has to be by a window for this thing to work properly. But I had to get a desk, move my Xbox from over there over here. Deal with fighting arguing with my brother over there, and I also have to get like a freaking either a TV or a monitor or something if we can put it over here too on the desk. But I don't know.
Or, you know what? Big brain idea. Build a tree house. Build a tree house. Boom, baby. You got it. You fucking got it. That would be cool, though. Imagine doing the podcast in a tree house. Like, that'd be kind of cool. I don't know how we're going to get someone from this great states of Canada to come down here and do a podcast in a tree every week. But, we'll find
I don't know about every week, guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's where it would be like, really, every week?
Try to...
Me and Charles were possible. Like, it's a day's drive. More than a day's drive, but it's still like a day's drive. Like, that's more possible. It's like it's a flight, and then you might not be let back out of the country, so it's not even worth it.
My girlfriend has been individually calling each of our provinces to find out if they're quarantining people. It's like, so there's like a solid hour. She's like, "Oh, hello, Nova Scotia. Do you quarantine people if they're not vaccinated?"
Yeah, I've made this stated so many times. I don't give a fuck if you got a vaccine or not. Just be careful about it. But unfortunately, one of the members of the team got sick with COVID, and I'm pretty certain they were vaccinated. And my girlfriend brings up the smart ass remark. She was like, "I wasn't vaccinated. Look at me." I'm like, that doesn't help. I'm like, you're not saying much. You're just like, cool, I was safe about it. We wore masks before it ever hit the United States. Like, it doesn't matter. It's like, we were still safe about it, and we're antisocial, so, who cares? But, yeah, she was like, I haven't taken it, and I haven't been sick. I was like, yeah, but you're a fucking drama queen. I hope you don't get sick. She's gonna be like, I can't do anything. I'm gonna be like, you know what? You can eat off the floor. Like, I got nothing. Actually, I think when you're sick with COVID, you don't eat at all. You just throw up a lot. I don't know. I'm not a COVID expert. Never had it.
Either if they can eat and drink what little you can, and or you just get a lot of freaking sleep.
Dude, you fine, I'm getting COVID. Someone spit in my eye, or however that works. Let's do it. I need sleep, dude. I slept until like 9 o'clock today. It was so weird, but I just couldn't sleep because of the fireworks going off. But I'm celebrating Independence Day tomorrow. Because my whole family's coming in. I'm going to make my first long drive ever to pick up my one brother, to bring him over to my place so we can have like a little like Independence Day celebration. It'll be cool, but I'm not looking forward to driving on the main interstate of Kansas because goddamn, people can't drive. So that'll be an interesting time. But one thing I'm more like, I don't know if any of you guys had it, but like when you invite people over to your place and you're like, I want to be like a top line host. Like I want to treat them the best, and I want to do things. I want to make sure like people are happy, people are having fun. So when that is all said and done, do you ever like feel like you're not gonna entertain as much as you should, or like you think you might be overthinking trying to entertain another, even though they're just coming to hang out?
I've had like a couple of good events that I can take credit for arranging, but for the most part, I'm cursed. I cannot host an event to save my life. Like I since I moved into this apartment, I've tried to small scale invite two of my boys over to us to hang out, play games, have something to drink, maybe something to smoke, just a decent
just
time.
A little chill.
Just we'll fucking do it. No matter when I put out the invitation, they won't do it. And I've had I've organized a fair amount of parties, and like I've really tried to like have good events, and they don't happen. I had one event where like half the group half the people who showed up were actually protesting it because Trump had just gotten elected, and one of them was wearing like a shirt with Donald Trump's face melting. So they didn't even like want to celebrate my birthday. They just came to antagonize me. And that was the last time I ever saw them. So my closest friends from high school, I know them for 10 years. And that was the last time I saw them because they were so torn up over Donald Trump. So like I genuinely think that it's like you have to have a gift for party hosting and event hosting. Some people have it. Some people, they just on a whim, they'll want to have a barbecue and people will just show up in droves and the smell is wafting from a mile away. And the cooler just refills itself and the ice never seems to melt. And some people lose half their fucking friends.
They just
Want to talk about losing friends? Freaking one game that probably made people not want to be friends with each other anymore. Freaking is Call of Duty.
Oh, 100%. Dude, no one plays Call of Duty saying, man, I can't wait to meet these guys in real life. They go, oh, either we're friends already or I never want to fucking see you. Those are the two responses I get a lot. I've never met anyone in real life from my Call of Duty competitive at times or like, and just in general besides you. Yeah. And there's a reason.
Well, like all your friends come from context. Either it's like school or work or, you know, like, happenstance, kind of like how we and well, I mean,
I'm gonna say that
put the ball on the tee, man. Like, I just come on. I'm not even.
I only say that because one of the things I posted on the Discord is that apparently the next Call of Duty was already leaked, and I seen that somebody on YouTube had covered it. Apparently, it's going to be called Call of Duty Black Ops Gulf War. Basically, it's going to be another fucking Black Ops game.
Well, it's called Black Ops. It's in the name.
At least this one will be taking place in freaking the Gulf War. I can't remember anything about that, what happened in that war, but it'll be interesting.
You know, I hope, I honestly hope if that is the case, that however this new Call of Duty actually comes out, however it comes out, hopefully they just learn from it and they don't try to like shove something brand new on it and it's like they didn't listen to anything they needed to listen to. I'm just hoping they just keep doing better. I hope it's the same thing with like content. They just put something out, it does great. They do it again, they top it. They do it again, they top it. I hope this is gonna start their climb. I would love to get back into like just playing it for fun. But you know, who knows? But Call of Duty definitely makes the people not be so friendly, especially on the 4th of July. Dude, and playing any games right now is just full of sweats. Either guys are home for the full weekend and they're just like, balls out, let's play me some games. And I'm like, oh, cool. So you just been playing this for 15 hours straight with no break. Gotcha. I saved the mouse today, but yeah, no, you just fucking do your own thing, bro. I got you. It's like, you know, people.
I think I've just like, whatever fucks I had left to get on like multiplayer, I think I'm all out of them. I tried to play a single game of Dota 2 last week, and I kept trying to help my 4 teammates, and everybody was like tunnel vision, and no one did anything to respond to what the enemy was doing. Mm-hmm. And then they get into a 4v5, and I can't make it there because my teleport is on cooldown. And then everyone's pinging me after the fight. I'm like, you know what, guys, this game is worse than cancer. Thank you for reminding me why I hate this, and I just abandoned it. I was so done with it.
Dude, I don't know what it is about, like, I think it was just because, like, it's the weekend and people are just trying to get on and just do their own thing. But, God, it's been a whole entire, like, playing video games recently has just been I've never felt like streaming and making content ever been a job before, but god damn though, it's just making even today, like just making content today was just so hard because like either you got people that was like massaging their foot while playing a video game, or you got people who just could not let go and just like kept going like, calm down, it's okay, the game's over, you're good. And yeah, it was just, man, I got a message sitting because this guy tried to save me, and I was like, you probably fucking shouldn't, but he tried to save me, and then afterwards, he stayed the whole round until I died, and he's like, I should have let you die. I was like, should have, but you didn't. And I sent him a heart face. It's like, you're worthless. And I go, and if you just respond to a hater saying yes and, you will get the best content ever, because you know they're not gonna look at that going and just end it. No, they're gonna come back at you, and it's so great. So I did that. I went yes and. They're like, so you are worthless. I was like, at least my birth certificate's not a bunch of apologies. Sent and fucking blocked him. I just sent it. I was like, blocked him, dude, because they can't send anything back. Once you block them, you're a free man. Like that.
Yeah.
That's my go-to. It's great.
One of my go-tos is it sucks to live in a second world country. I understand. I can't say third world because they don't have internet, but second world. I ranted. I put this one guy on blast because Dota 2 just, when it's good, but it's never good. So moot point. But like, you can do this thing where you can tip somebody on the enemy team one of the in-game currencies. It was designed as a way to like commend people for a good play, but nobody does that. They'll tip you for making a mistake. So I let an enemy hero get away with like 1 health point left. Usually health pools can be like 2,000 or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then he tips me, and I just raged at him for 10 minutes. And they thought I was being racist, and then they said, America is not a much better place to live. I'm like, I'm not. See, you guys are being racist. You think because I was saying racist things, I live in America? Fucking assholes. I still get salty once in a while when I think of like some of the shit that people have pulled. I know you're supposed to put your blinders on because it's the internet, but it's like, well, no, there's human beings on the other side.
Yeah.
Like there was somebody who taunted me on Guild Wars 1 like 15 years ago and blocked me before I could say a response, and that's just so fucking infuriating. I hope there's life after this one because I got so many people I'm coming for.
Dude, Go ahead.
And on another video game related topic, Ubisoft's planning on turning off multiplayer servers for 15 of their games. I actually have the list right here.
Okay, well, go ahead and list off the games real quick.
Anno 2070, never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Assassin's Creed 2, 3, Brotherhood and Liberation HD, and Revelations.
I didn't know Assassin's Creed had multiplayer. I was gonna say Assassin's Creed
That's
is
why
a
I was
joke.
like, sucks. It's like, if you don't know it exists, there's a problem.
I could have like quintupled my ROI if I had suggested Assassin's Creed.
Like 5 Assassin's Creed games aren't gonna have online multiplayer that I didn't even know I even had to begin with anymore.
Okay.
Driver San Francisco, who even plays that?
Apparently not enough people.
Far Cry 3 apparently is gonna be losing its online multiplayer servers. Or I also didn't know that was.
But that's pretty
other
old.
than playing like unless you're doing that mode where you can run like people generate freaking like worlds and play certain modes like where you have to try and get across to the other side while also dealing with a rampaging horde of rhinos or something like I seen Vanos and Nogla doing a video once.
I thought a rampaging horde of rhinos was in part 5 when you're in rural United States. That's a politics joke.
Far Cry,
Rhinos are Republicans in name only.
I didn't even know that
is an objectively good joke.
Yeah, I got it.
Ghost Recon Future Soldier, which I'm honestly surprised that game even had multiplayer also, because that game sucked! Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands, didn't even know that was a multiplayer game either. Rayman Legends.
Oh, well, that one's kind of a that's a loss. Rayman Legends is pretty good. It's good. It's decent multiplayer as well.
Silent Hunter 5, what the fuck game is that?
Like it's like the multiplayer Mario games when the mushrooms kick in. That's Rayman Legends for you.
No. Space Junkies, never heard of that one either. Splinter Cell Blacklist, that had multiplayer.
Couldn't tell you, never heard of it.
and apparently there's a 3DU, whatever the hell it's called, game on here, Zombie U, which I also didn't know had multiplayer.
Oh, Zombie U. I didn't know that one had multiplayer either. That's a decent game though. I've got it on the Wii U. It's not bad.
Those are the games that are losing their online multiplayer soon.
So for anyone that's playing those games, sorry for your loss, but there's a reason why they're cutting the servers back. Probably because you didn't even know that people weren't playing it. Or you're one of those guys like, I want to play this game, and they're sitting there for 7 minutes waiting to get in the lobby, and they're like, man, this game is not what it used to be. So I hate to say, like, that doesn't really affect too many people, but kind of doesn't.
I still can't believe that there was Assassin's Creed games that had multiplayer.
I knew there was one early on. It was on the 360. It had a multiplayer. I remember it because there's a shit ton of achievements, and they only put it for the multiplayer. There's like 20 campaign achievements, and then there was like 50 multiplayer achievements. So I knew there was one. I think it was the third one or something along those lines, and it had a multiplayer. I knew it was on the 360, and yeah, I knew it had it, but didn't play it. Like, if a game has to shut down servers or even like cut the servers in half, the game wasn't doing well, or it's currently not doing well. A lot of the times game developers, well, just like Halo did it to Halo 3 and Master Chief Collection on the 360, when they had to cut back their servers. They did not shut them all down immediately at the time. They just had to cut them back because the Xbox One and PC were dominating everything else. So they cut it back. They did that, and they seen the loss. They honestly saw the loss because people are still playing on 360s. But then eventually they're like, oh, okay, our loss was more of a gain because now people are on Xbox and PC, and now it's cross-platform, so you can play it on those two because you could not play the 360 in someone on the Xbox One. That
the worst thing is
not a thing. Yeah, what's up?
As far as I know, I think the 360 Halo servers that people were playing at the time, however many people were still playing the 360 version of Halo 3 and Halo Reach and Halo 4, I think those were all outside, other than Halo 4. I think the Reach and Halo 3 servers were still Bungie servers, which honestly I'd be surprised if that's the case because I didn't think Bungie would still be supporting their old games.
Well, contracts has a lot to do with it.
343.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Anyone that rents
just
out a
how much it
contract,
costs.
I mean,
Like, I know Guild Wars 1, for instance, they said it's like, okay, I'm pulling a number out of thin air here, but it basically costs them nothing to continue running the game, and there's still a decent enough community keeping it alive. And it's just the way it's structured too. So like, if a player happens to be on their own, they can still do all the content because you can just get AI controlled party members, and then that way at least you can play the content while you're waiting for other people to show up. So if you future-proof it and you plan for these kinds of things, then yeah, you can make it somewhat sustainable, at least as a legacy thing. But unfortunately, as we all well know, not many developers, even if they want to do it, they don't really get the capacity to do it. I mean, why would they? 'Cause, they got to sell the next copy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm impressed that Far Cry 3 is only being shut down. And aren't we on like Far Cry 6? Or like
5.
Like that.
5? Yeah.
I'll search it.
So like 3 is a far cry from being the newest release.
It's actually more
Okay,
like Far Cry
yes.
7 because we had Far Cry New Dawn after 5, which is basically just a DLC into a sequel to 5, and then we had the most recent one, Far Cry 6, which also sucked!
Okay, well, Far Cry 3 was made in 2012, so that already shows you that it's pretty old. But Far Cry has been going on for a while, actually, to the point where they have like side versions. So they have like Primal. It wasn't a number; it was Far Cry Primal. So
we're going to get to a game that takes place during the caveman era.
Yeah, I mean, people liked it, but yeah, I mean, there's definitely a ton of Far Cry games though. But yeah, so there's more than 5. There's more than 6. There's even Far Cry Dead Living Zombies 5. I guess that was a DLC or something, but they sell it in a separate game. That's interesting. But yeah, I mean, Far Cry is the only one out of that list that I can actually see people kind of being heartbroken over. But in the same sense, if you are still playing Far Cry 3, I'm pretty sure they have it for the Xbox One. And even then, let me see. It is on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PlayStation 3, Microsoft Windows, and Xbox 360. That is not a game you need to play online. It's like Dead Island. You don't need to play that online to enjoy it. So, but yeah, it is what it is. I think this was like, oh yeah, it's a 9 out of 10. a 9 out of 10 rating on Steam and an 8.9 on MD. Not bad. Okay. Damn, did not know that. Yeah, that's cool. So, Far Cry fans, move on.
Well, we're still on the topic of shit getting canned. Figured apparently Rockstar reportedly canned a GTA 4 and Red Dead Redemption remaster.
Oh yeah, they were not gonna do that. Everyone kept saying that they were gonna make like the GTA like 4 remastered and stuff. And of course, like one thing I said is why would they do that? They're working on GTA 6, the game that has all the hype going for it. So why work on something else? I think those are more rumors that were being spread, and I think Rockstar kind of made it more focused on the announce of it, saying like, hey, shit's not happening. It might have been thought about. Someone who might have worked for us may have known that we wanted to do it, but that shit's not happening. And I think that's a smart bet for their end, because no one's gonna want to play a GTA game that comes out that's a remastered right now. And if so, they want to play it way early
the most
on.
recent ones.
Yeah,
I think it's going to kind of sully the reputation of that game. Like when it came out, it was very well received, and it's not a bad game.
no.
It's just like it does pale in comparison to the sequel to it. So when that game comes out, I think it's just not in a good spot, because it doesn't have the early nostalgia of like 3 and Vice City. Okay, these games, they run like crap, but it's okay. We're gonna live with it. But then of course 5 is like, it's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Like it's about how they're gonna top it. I don't know. They're probably gonna have to start like flying to different continents or something.
I still think that would be a cool one. But so the one thing that I could see with what GTA could do, for one, I would say if they ever remaster a game, is to just don't remaster, or remaster is when they just change the graphics. I think they would have to say to do that, but the first one, do it to the first one, because at least then you're going to give them more, versus the fourth one or the third one. Why do one of those ones? It makes more sense to either make a new one or go way back. Get the first one done, so people actually can be like, oh, this guy, he's referenced this that's happened over here. That makes sense. Let's do that. Let's get this done. And in the Red Dead, honestly, I had no idea. I'm not a big Red Dead Redemption fan. Only reason I know it's a really good game is because a lot of members from Rooster Teeth does a lot of Easter eggs and stuff like that. And there's actually Jeff Ramsey is a voice actor in one spot of Red Dead Redemption 5. He's a clerk that if you point a gun at, he's like, oh my god, and all this it's fun. It's fun.
You know what I would do for the earlier GTA games where they're not worth the remaster, is they can maybe do like an update of the visuals, but don't actually release it as a game, release it as a movie. So you can put all the cutscenes together, and then you can do some fixed camera angles of just enough gameplay for whenever there is dialogues or any of like the key gameplay, and then release it as like a 2-hour movie. I think that would be a great way to honor a lot of the work that should hold up, because the storytelling, the writing, the acting. What was it?
And then just kind of leave it in the past, like as like people played the game could like remember doing these certain things. Like instead, just leave that kind of idea to the past and just focus on like the storyline for the little movie.
Yeah, exactly. I think it'd be a great way to celebrate it. Give people 2 hours of like really rock solid content. Not pun not intended, and it's not even barely qualified as a pun. I just want to get that out of my system.
They just couldn't be the star.
So San Andreas, Vice City Part 4, all 3 of the. I think Vice City got a remaster. It's hard to keep track of these kinds of things. It did? Okay. So, but anyways, all of those, I'm excluding Part 3 because the protagonist doesn't speak, and that's going to make things kind of difficult. But Vice City and the others would be a great experience to watch for 2. Maybe they even do like a series, like a 12 episode season of it. Because again, a lot with those games, even if they're lacking in the gameplay department, which is fair, it's been a while, but the artistry, the music, the setting, the tone, just the fun of those games would still hold up. I just think at this point, it's better served to just tell it as a story. It'd be an interesting experiment at the very least, and a player could take this idea and run with it. Yeah. Somebody would just have to go through the trouble of like, trying to, I guess, hack a camera somehow so that they can always film at the right angle for everything that they do. It'd be fun to do, and I think it'd be a great way to immortalize those stories so that they're not hidden behind these gameplay walls, these gameplay barriers, or which are going to be harder and harder to access as time goes on.
Yeah, especially with the whole idea of like GTA, for an example, like it's a lot of hookers and things like that. But in the early GTAs, you didn't really have like cutscenes in the middle of driving. Like if you even cut to like GTA 4 or 5, like while you're driving, things are happening. They're like, "Yo, man, this Michael's over here, shooting up the place. We gotta get to his crib now." And it's like, okay, cool. And in the middle of this, you're over there running over pedestrians, chasing the cops and stuff, or being chased by the cops. And it's like it's hard to put that idea into like the movie stuff you're talking about, but in like a older game, like even just GTA 3, you could easily do something like that because they didn't have that many like voiceover scenes getting to a location.
I'm gonna disagree. I think it would make it harder, but it would make it much better because it's a difference between like having to do a scene of somebody just driving, nothing else happens, versus them driving and they're carrying the story. And there's no reason why things can't go off track in true GTA fashion. Like sooner or later, the players would decide on running somebody over, and then the chase starts and the cops start going after a person or something like that. So like that should be worked into it somehow as like a fun side adventure during the main plot.
Yeah.
Just a way to embrace the gameplay.
Yeah, I agree. I think it could be a really cool thing if they were able to do that, especially like to commemorate, instead of remaking the game, sit there and say, "Hey, the game's gone. If you don't have a PlayStation 1, if you don't have the Xbox, wherever it's at, the game's gone. We're not remaking it, but here's something we can give you." Unfortunately, they'll have to kind of give it out for free, but in the same boat too, I mean, you give it out for free, but you're going to have a lot of people so interested on the scene in the kind of movie side of it. So I think
Yeah,
it's cool.
I think it's pretty good marketing. Like it'll take some resources to cut it all together, and I do recommend upping the visuals somewhat, at least to retain the artistic view, like the artistic vision of it. And then they'd have to do the work of filming all of the gameplay scenes, making them cinematic. Obviously, there's gonna be some mistakes. Take a few tries, enter in the cheat codes like we care. Do the cheat codes, who cares?
Yeah.
And then yeah, you have like a 2 hour, maybe a 3 hour promo video for Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, and then think about all the little Easter eggs that could sit there and slap in there too, like things that aren't just noticed in the game. They could easily like kind of make those more noticeable, like the cheat codes and stuff. Like, oh, you drive by this car, and literally in the car it has a reflection. I don't know actually the graphics or something, but like the car is written on it, the cheat code that you would do to like get infinite damage or something like that. Like a little like kind of Easter egg for it.
Yeah,
I
and
feel
you
like
also think too that these cities, they're 3D environments, and I don't know how often players even give themselves the opportunity to view the city at certain angles. A lot of the time, you're just going through the streets and just focusing on what you're doing, or you're in a plane above. So, I mean, yeah, I'm sure there are. I think in like the later GTAs, they guide the player so that they will end up in certain views. But even so, having control over the camera would give you an opportunity to show off a lot of the work that they put in to realize these cities. It takes a lot of work to build a virtual city.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with that 100%. I think a really cool thing, like I do this a lot, and I think it has to do with the video side of me, but like if I'm playing GTA or I'm playing like a survival game that has like realistic graphics and stuff, I will be that person that takes the time to like drive up the side of the hill so I can get like a cool like scenic shot look. Just kind of think it's entertaining and it's cool. Or like we're streaming, me and my brother and his girlfriend are streaming a 7 Days to Die every Saturday. And I'm trying to build a house on a mountain to view over the city because I love the view of it. And yeah, I love that little kind of aspect to it because the game developers put so much time into like making the views look so great. And no, you don't see that. You see, especially like a game like 7 Days to Die, you just see people building the concrete walls so zombies can't get in. And then on GTA, you see people just going, I need to make money, get the storyline, and fuck a hooker. Like, that's usually what you end up seeing. So, but actually to take the moments, and I think if they did kind of a situation like that, they could actually show you all the hard work they put into it.
Mm-hmm.
I have one thing. Freaking somebody who used to be part of Faze isn't gonna be putting any work in anything except trying to make sure that doesn't lose his entire career or whatever. Apparently, freaking some dude who was a part of Faze recently just got kicked out of the group because and he was a Fortnite freaking player by the way, and he was a huge star apparently in the whole Fortnite freaking thing. But apparently, he freaking got kicked out of Faze because apparently he used the N word.
No.
I imagine you guys would kick me out of this show if I used the N word
Depends.
twice in an episode.
Depends. Maybe
From
a
this
third
thing
time.
from PC Gamer.
So I got one, but I have to use it wisely. Okay, I understand.
This thing I found from PC Gamer, a Canadian Fortnite pro, Scented. I'm not using his full name, but his nickname is Scented. He was a part of freaking Faze, but apparently from a Fortnite stream he did back in December of last year, apparently and this is on Twitch, by the way. Apparently somebody apparently there's a 9-second clip that was going around. That's why he got kicked out and everything, and that's how he was caught using the N word and everything. Apparently another player used the hop into the dude's, I think his chat, whatever this thing is saying. I got into a Discord call and the dude, he was playing with another Fortnite player who hopped into his Discord call and immediately used the N word, and apparently Scented used the same word at the same time, and after when Faze found out about that, they kicked his butt out to the curb for it. And that's on top of all the other dramas be going on with Faze, and it's like, man, you guys really fell from grace since the Call of Duty days.
Honestly, that's not surprising, and the reason I say it's really not that surprising is because of any time, and this is why I truly say, like, always imagine the camera's on you, because doesn't matter if you're
Or God.
going shopping or God, it doesn't matter if you're going shopping and stuff. Like, you always have to be careful because you don't know who's listening, you don't know what's going on. Plus, I mean, certain people grow up like, we can go for Logic for an example. He could say the N word. He could say it, and it doesn't matter. I will say the N word any day of the week. If you ask me to, I will do it. Like, it's a word. If you don't give it power, it means nothing. So all based on how he uses it, that gives it power. And obviously it was enough. But Faze has gone through so many issues already. And, like, the big issue they did was the whole COVID thing when they were trying to see, like, who's the next person to join Faze and you win $1 million. They got caught massively for doing that stuff. Because in the middle of it, they ended up, like, being happy that they had to stop because they will save money and things like that. There was this whole entire thing, but Faze is, how do I say this? Faze is supreme. That's what I'm going to say. So I could buy a pair of Nikes for $500 and good shoe, lasts a while, all this. I could go to Supreme, get a shoe for $20,000, and it's the same as Nike, just a different name on it. That's all Faze is. They're just an overran logo that isn't the same as it used to be. And you see that a lot with bigger people, but it's just what it is. Go ahead.
Question.
Yeah.
You're sure? There's no increase in quality. There's no better material.
When we're talking about the Faze example, I'm going to say easily yes. But with the shoe brand and stuff like that, that's what Supreme does. They put their name on it, and they sell whatever it is. So a cotton shirt that is like $100 at most at Nike's, they'll charge $1,000 for it. It's only the name. The name is the only reason why it's relevant, and that's what Faze is. Faze is only relevant because of that name. But you can get the same people who are so fucking talented at a video game and have nothing to do with Faze, and that's pretty much how I'm kind of wording it around. Is Faze is just the name. They have nothing special to them. They have not won a tournament in so long. One of the big ones, at least, they haven't won any in so long. That I'm saying thank God to, but they honestly, like, I hate to say it, any interaction I had, there's a few guys who are cool that don't do the massive game competitive stuff who are really cool, and you will see why they don't do it, because they're like, these guys are assholes. Like, every time I've met them, any of the fake guys I've been able to meet through my career were assholes. Like it's terrible. And unfortunately it is like the whole Wolf Clan idea. The Wolf Clan were assholes as well. They were like, names have so much power to them, and you see people like Faze and Supreme use that name to their advantage. And unfortunately that also means when someone says the N word on camera, who's in that group, they get more media attention, because unfortunately their name means so much. But that's not surprising though with Faze. You know, sucks to suck. But you know what? You fucked up. Earn up your mistakes. And of course, we could go back to like PewDiePie said the N word on camera. He fought hard to get his audience trust back. He fought fucking tooth and nail to get it back. And he got his audience back from it. And you wouldn't think a big guy like PewDiePie, but PewDiePie's big. If he says the N word on camera, guess what? It's a big deal. So he lost like so many people's trust and his viewers. He did a whole apology thing and he left. He left for a while because he was like, I fucked up. I fucked up big time. It's like, it was just in the moment and stuff, but it was during the COVID stuff and everything else. And he fucked up, and he knew he did. He apologized for it and he worked hard on it. I don't see this Faze guy being like, guys, I'm sorry, but I fucked up. I hope you can forgive me. And now I'm going to disappear. I don't know why I think he's British. I don't know who this person specifically is. I'm just assuming.
Yeah, I don't know much
talk
about
like
them,
that.
so I'm trusting that your impression was at least one of them.
If anybody wants to know what he said, what the guy said, what
Oh, I
sentence
can't
said as
believe
far as-
you've done this.
If anybody wants to see what sentence said as far as apology goes, Jordan will have the link to the PC Gamer article that this is from, and linked in the description. And this is just another freaking thing on top of the freaking cake that is the freaking all the shit that's been going on with Faze.
Look at
There
you
was a
go
whole
carrying
huge
this
thing.
episode.
There was a whole thing that happened like during I think it was during the pandemic or some other time where like 4 members of Faze apparently freaking promoted the shady freaking Save the Kids crypto scheme. If anybody remembers about that whole fiasco.
Yeah, that's not surprising. Especially back in the early COVID days, crypto stuff was just fucking crazy for scams, and people were involved in scams that didn't know it, to hosting scams that didn't know it, to unfortunately
That guy who
donating to
freaking
the
tried to buy
scams.
up all of the freaking hand sanitizer off of Amazon.
That guy was just a genius. That guy was just smart. He was ahead of his time. But when it's all said and done with the crypto side, unfortunately, it doesn't matter who you are. People get involved with the scam side a lot. It's just usually they have attorneys that look over it. But sometimes we could use names like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, Mr. Beast, Elon Musk. I mean, they probably get offers to be a part of scam stuff all the fucking time. But they have people who read over everything they do before they even see it on their desk. So, and unfortunately, some Faze guys, they see the money sign, and they go put my toes in that, and they're like, oh shit, I just scammed 100,000 people out of money. Oops. But
Faze went to being this big Call of Duty thing, this big Call of Duty thing that freaking everybody and their mother wanted to be a part of, and now it's just like, who the fuck even cares anymore?
Like I said, it's just a name. I know so many, and there's so many good Faze guys out there, and I want to make sure that I say it, because right now I'm just sounding like I'm shitting on all of them. I'm not shitting on them, I'm shitting on the name. The Faze name itself is a joke. It is. I don't care
sucks, Faze!
if I got back into competitiveness or not. I would. Nah, their clan is 100% a joke. Anyone that sits there and makes a clan as big of a name as theirs are, and you continue to use it to treat it like a Supreme Nike situation, no, you're a fucking joke. The name is only as good as the person. That's
I
all it
respect the
is.
people who are in that group that have made it, and freaking can live the rest of their lives happy, just all the money they made off being good in their video game, Call of Duty. But freaking, but I'd rather freaking just work my rear end out just to make a living with working an actual job, and also playing video games on the side as a hobby. Fun thing like I do with you guys at times, especially mainly you, Jordan, and I would like to be able to freaking make video game a thing that I can make money off of, but that's what my freaking YouTube channel will be for eventually, when I get to that point. Right now, my freaking YouTube channel is the freaking thing I do for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
And also prove a point that I can freaking do things my way and not freaking feel the need that I have to follow that freaking bullshit algorithm.
Yeah, a lot of people make it. A lot of people can make it where they have their channel, they do whatever they want, but it's also like, then you play on the game of luck for who's gonna see it. If you put it at the right time, it's a whole entire mess. But I mean, if it works, it works. A lot of people.
Well, then
So far,
Charles, you got me over here, not only like not following the algorithmic rules, but actively pushing against it. Like, oh, what video can I get shadow banned on TikTok today?
I like to think with my little bit of a following that I have, that I think how I've been doing things has been working out pretty good. Even if one of my most recent videos doesn't have a single view on it, which is freaking bullshit, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but when it's all said and done, it's all about timing.
I think that there's also a certain form of accessibility that you only get when you make content that is of lower fidelity. I think as like as an authority on the subject, Charles, I think, is inherently more trustworthy because he doesn't have the lights, camera, green screen, the $10,000 microphone, and he's just like the dude in his in his room going off on stuff. Like that makes a person trustworthy in a way that I think is difficult to replicate if you go the full regalia.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, anyone, like, that's why, in the sense, and I bring back Mr. Beast just because, like, it's proof. But, Mr. Beast he keeps his stuff, like, as low quality as possible because he wants to show people, like, it's the real deal and that, we do this because of this. Like, whenever he was starting to, like, give people money on the streets, he was trying to be as real as possible. He had an iPhone zoomed in to the most it could be zoomed in, and that quality fucking sucked. But he was like, I want to show that real. He's like, I had the money. I could have bought a GoPro. I could have bought a Sony 800. Like, I could have done all this. I didn't. And even now, he doesn't use the top of the line GoPro. He still uses like the GoPro 5 and 6. There's the 10 series out now, and he still uses old one. He wants to show like the fact that, hey, anyone can do this. You don't need the high tech stuff. And I know that helps guide trust early along the way. And especially for like Charles' situation where it's like the camera's not great, the audio's not great, even though people send him stuff for the audio, his audio's not great. Like these things though, but it helps build trust because then they know like, hey, this guy's also not gonna make a fucking scammy ass video saying, hey, click here now to be a part of my OnlyFeeds page. Like you don't have to worry about that. It's not, I'm not saying OnlyFeeds is sketchy.
And I will use that freaking mic whenever I can get a freaking desk.
I know. Whenever Season 3 comes out, baby, he'll have his mic set up.
Plus, I'd like to think the camera on this thing is way better than the one I had on my old phone.
I wouldn't know. This is gonna sound dickish, but I only use 4K. That's all I use.
Plus, I would like to get a GoPro. Freak, you know how much footage you can capture with those things?
You know how much footage you can capture with your phone? it's fucking crazy.
With a GoPro, I could take it underwater if I wanted to, and I could freaking film some shit with that.
You can your phone too, unless if you have.
I don't want to freaking have to get a replacement for this damn thing.
I could put my phone in water and all day. As long as I don't go like below 50 feet, it won't break. It's waterproof.
Well, I don't know how good this thing will be. I don't want to freaking take the chances with this thing.
I get you. I wouldn't want to do it with my phone, but I know it can. It's waterproof. I've dropped it in the shower. I brought it into an indoor pool, and I've done all of it. It works perfectly fine. The best phone I've had yet. But my other phone, same thing until I cracked the back of it, and then put it in water became a little bit more riskier. When actually I have it down here because I use it for stuff. But I cracked like the tiny little top corner of it, and I cracked it, and then the top of the screen got cracked. Hang on, almost there. Aha, there we go. Yeah, so the top of the screen got cracked, and I was like, ooh, probably should not put this on the water. That's when I was like, won't do that. Won't do that. But
that's pretty much all this. Oh, sorry, Dwayne.
No, you're good. What's up?
Much other stuff we were just talking about is pretty much everything that I found earlier before I got home from work, and that's pretty much all I had for this show because I figured those were things that we'd want to talk about.
Right on.
If unless you guys have anything else that want to talk about, we may as well just jump right straight into the freaking shilling ourselves segment of this show.
We're not ready to end yet. You're over here like, let's go. Come on, we gotta get out. Like, we're not done yet.
Did it really go through all that stuff that quick? I thought we only like do these things for like an hour.
It hasn't been an hour.
Seriously?
Dude, you've been going. We didn't even talk about Joseph's like experience for his week. I want to know if he's homeless yet. Are you homeless? No? Okay, well at least we got that one.
Are you homeless? Because if I remember correctly, your straits are also in dire.
You know what? That is true. Yeah. This is a green screen. I'm currently in the trunk of a BMW. That doesn't make me sound homeless. Let's reset. Yeah, I'm in the back of a 2009 Chevy Cockbite. I don't know. I can't go to Tahoe. Damn it.
What's this for all the freaking signs where the cars going by my house outside? It look like I'm freaking in heaven right now.
No, we know you're not in heaven because you're still on the podcast with us. This is hell. This is like as low as the world gets us. But no, so
pretty sure this is purgatory here, as far as my.
And I'm in heaven. Wait, this light's not red. Hang on. I'm in heaven.
No, you're not.
Well, it feels like I am. No.
The only time you ever like that was when like you had that one lamp that you had shining down on you, freaking like what you call freaking God's dick, like that one time.
Any time I have a bright light on me, like if I step outside or whatever, I will always reference that it's God's dick in my face. Saying that next to a Christian woman, I'm still so sorry, Marissa. But we stepped outside. I was working at Amazon at the time. There was a girl I worked with, Marissa, and she's a sweet little Christian woman. And we walked outside, and it was just bright because we're in an Amazon warehouse. It's so dark inside. We step outside, it's just bright in the face. Sun just coming up. I went, oh my God, it's God's dick in my face. Her face did not light up the way you thought it would, but it was sorrow. there was nothing happy about that. And I think that was the last time I ever walked out on the yard with her. I was like, probably should.
When on one of my high school trips, the class of us we're all there, and I didn't have the shirt. I was describing the shirt where Jesus Christ, he is in he's got the goalie gear, and he's stopping a puck, and it says Jesus saves. And that's me describing the shirt. And one of the persons there, devout Catholic, she just slowly turns towards me and is just staring daggers. And I'm like, oh God, people actually mean it when they say they're Catholic.
Yeah. Dude, some people are, we've said it many times on the show, but it's just, if this is your first time watching the podcast, like we don't give a shit what you celebrate. We don't care. We're all different people. I mean, we have a guy in freelance, we have a guy working at Applebee's, we have me that's just a random mix of who the fuck knows. So it's just do you. That's all we ask, is just do yourself. Don't push your beliefs on others. Politics.
I think Applebee's probably pay me better than where I'm at right now.
Then go to Applebee's! I just said Charles' new career path. He's going to Applebee's, ladies. If you want to see little Charles working his ass off, go to Applebee's. Ooh, can you work at Hooters?
No.
I'm out.
My freaking ass and my freaking chest ain't big enough for that place.
Surgery.
Surgery.
No. Let's just get that on the table.
Not freaking Caitlyn Jenner.
Dude, I almost 100%. I almost took off my shirt for this for the podcast. I was like, you know what I should do? I should just take off my shirt and stuff, and then just only have this on, and just slightly cover the nips. And I was like, oh, that would be good. And I was going to do it. And then one thing Brittany asked me not to do is take my shirt off on camera. So I went, ooh. Fine, I won't do it.
Especially considering the fact after the last time you freaking almost showed your freaking nips when you're wearing that weird freaking freaking coconut bra thing or whatever it was. Freaking.
Oh yeah, baby. Yeah, that was a fun time. I still have all of it too. The coconut bra actually fits better now. Do you have what?
still have the penguin outfit when you almost burnt your place down when you tried to make freaking a pumpkin spice latte? That video better still be up on your YouTube
Yes.
channel. I still want to watch it.
I think so. Yes, I think I still have it. Hard to say. I have a lot of shit in my closet that I have no idea. I redesigned the office and I did not see it. I'm assuming I still have it in one of my storage units. I think I still have it.
The whole freaking video when you wore that penguin outfit's freaking hilarious.
Dude,
That better still be on your freaking YouTube channel somewhere.
all I'm gonna say, I might try to do something on a video soon, and if I fail, I'm gonna be walking around a park in a penguin outfit. So on a 100-degree day. So I hope I don't fail.
I'm still waiting for you to freaking toss out the freaking money to get your own set of Master Chief armor from freaking Halo.
I already have a plan when I do that. I'm gonna wait until I'm famous and then have a creator that just wants to be shouted out make it for me, and then he gives it to me, and then I say thanks, Dave, and nothing else. And then people come to my house and be like, "That's so cool." I'll be like, "Yeah." I don't know when I got it, but it was from a guy named Dave.
I think you can get that stuff freaking 3D printed or something.
Oh, I definitely can, but I'll just rather.
Yeah, I mean, you're not print. It's not. It's not materializing the whole thing at once. It's piece by piece.
Piece by piece. There's a guy on TikTok who's building a Master Chief armor from scratch and stuff, and he's going through so many issues, and he has 3D printers that are huge trying to work on this, and it's a whole entire thing. It takes so long to get one piece done, and then you have to sand it, paint it, clean it, and then the arms keeps falling off because there's a lot of weight on this arm specifically. It's a piece of work, but I want to get
that escape room I was telling you uses guys is about last time. Like they recreated the interior of an alien ship. Much of it was 3D printed. They had like keys, they had terminals, they had a console they had to program to get the fuck out of there. They put there was a lot of time spent 3D printing this stuff. So as agonizing as it is, once it's brought into existence, it stays.
Yeah.
That's the upside. It's a pain in the ass, but by God, you actually end up with the armor.
Oh yeah.
I had a lady who was my Uber driver once when I went to freaking GameStop and pre-ordered a new Call of Duty. She told me that her son apparently is a huge Dead Space fan. He 3D printed Isaac's helmet.
Nice.
I'm
surprised an old lady knows what a 3D printer is.
And I know for a fact that since there's a lot of people who like Dead Space, even to this day, thinking that if he wanted to sell that helmet, people would be thinking like, here's $1,000, I want it.
Oh yeah, a lot of people always want like homemade stuff and like handmade crafted. There's a big Etsy is like the big market for it, and I thought about doing that, but I love doing things with my hands like art and crafts and stuff, but the issue I have with it is I'm not willing to sell it. I'm not willing to get rid of it, and I'm not willing to sell it. So if I make it, it stays.
I think there's people. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I think there's people who've actually made 3D printed like prop weapons from like Destiny or Halo.
Yeah, that's how most of them are actually made. Is they get a 3D model, they print it out, and then they will sit there and do all. Actually, most of the prop weapons are 3D printed. Now I'm thinking about it.
Here's a new hobby you can do with your 3D printer: kill a man.
Part 2, Shadowborn or Shadow Band Part 2. Let's make it happen.
They can make 3D freaking printed weapons.
Actually, you can 100%. It's killed many people.
Yeah.
Yep. You can 100% do it and make the bullets out of ice, so there's no way to trace it. I'm not.
That just reminded me of that one assault rifle from freaking Advanced Warfare. That literally, I don't remember. I forget what it was called, but like this one gun literally printed its own bullets, so you were never actually out of ammo.
Huh. I mean, that would work. There's a
well, hang on a second.
That would take.
Like,
wait, that wouldn't work.
You need a material to print. You can't just materialize material out of thin air.
I don't know. It's like Advanced Warfare. They had a bunch of weird guns. They literally freaking had laser guns in that game, for Christ's sake.
Oh, no, it's not real.
You think?
So this is the best way to get away with murder. I've talked about it many times before, but you 3D print a gun. But how you get this is you go to a public place, McDonald's. You download the schematics there onto a SD card. Then you bring said SD card back home to your 3D printer. You print out everything needed. You put the gun together. You go into your freezer and you get a silicone mold made of a bullet, and then you put it in the freezer with water, and then you get ice bullets. You shoot someone with that, it will kill them, but there'll be no traces of how they died besides a bullet that they can't find. So every bit of issues that you would run into would be covered. And I know what you're thinking, well, you still downloaded the schematic. If you use a public Wi-Fi network and you don't have a way for it to trace back to you, and not using a VPN either, like if I could use a fucking cheap little tablet I can buy with cash.
Yeah, sorry, you're not getting a shout out today, Nord.
Hey, speaking of a sponsor, sorry about NordVPN. You suck at your job. No, I love my NordVPN. I'm not joking though. Like whenever I watch porn, that's like once a month. It's so great, dude. I found porn. Hang on. I gotta find it.
You just cut this whole freaking section out of the freaking podcast.
Nope. Hang on.
You're freaking Jordan talked about how to plan a mass murder at a McDonald's, and now he's thinking.
No, I never said that at McDonald's. I never said that at McDonald's. You go to the McDonald's to download the files, guys. If you want to help you get away with murder, hit that like button. Hang on. I'm legitimately on Pornhub right now. Hang on. I'm trying to find the video.
So you're on like Nordic Pornhub, like you're like at the Netherlands Pornhub. Is that what's going on here? Like you found like some foreign stuff?
No. I literally found a video of Korn watching porn.
What the fuck?
I know. Hang on. It was no joke. It was on the trending tab. That's the only reason I seen it.
How this reminds me of freaking that time Mark Music freaking looked up corn.
Damn it!
Time.
All I'm seeing is women fucking themselves with corn. So I'll have to look later.
What the fuck?
I'm just saying.
It's because TikTok doesn't let you say porn, so they've replaced it with corn. So like, if you follow my Corn Star account, you can't say that you're an adult entertainer. That you have to call yourself an accountant.
Dude,
a spicy accountant.
Spicy photos. You could watch my free
So
corn
Do
videos.
not make a single mistake on your TikTok doing, because the algorithm, like, you look like 3 videos of that cat dancing song, and then all of a sudden your whole algorithm is thrown off.
You know, normally I'm the one that usually freaking derails these things, freaking. But I was the one freaking being the most professional, freaking going from topic to topic.
There's nothing to be
and you guys...
derailed. Derailed is when we're on a topic. Like if you're saying, "Hey, let's talk about Halo," and then it's like, "Yeah, Halo," and then I'm over here talking about, "Hey, speaking of Halo, I thought I was an angel when I got fucked by a dog." And people are like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, by the way, I got fucked by a dog. I bent over doggy style. Man with a fursuit came up with a giant cock and just got, and that's a definition of derailing." Hi, Jake. Thank you. Man, I'm so happy I had that script on my phone. But that's derailing. That's derailing. We're not derailing anything. You just blew through all the topics before the 40-minute mark, and so it's like, okay, let's just go on for it. But so.
Normally I'm the one that goes off on it. In this instance, it was Jordan.
You know,
I was carrying the torch for quite a while, and then I retired, I guess.
Yeah,
retirement if I'd see fit.
I will never retire. I told my dad, because he was getting his podcast set up. He was on last week's episode. And I'm telling my dad, I was like, I'm never gonna retire, like any reason. He's like, so what if you started DoorDash? And I was like, I'm never retiring. He's like, so what if one day you lost your voice and you couldn't film? I'll never retire. I'll still be a film creator. I'll still do what I can. He's like,
yeah, I don't think our generations, I don't think we're gonna be retiring.
No.
And like 32-year-old me doesn't want to. Like, I'm happy to continue working. I just, don't want to.
I don't want to have to rely
concerned
on
with my survival by that. Well,
Yeah.
actually, by that point, I probably am not concerned about my survival, because I will be like 65 years old and think, I've lived.
Exactly. And I'm just like, retiring. I don't see that. Like, I can't do even my days off that I haven't had in 3 weeks, and I can't wait for my next one. But even my days off, like, I'm still finding myself trying to work. And I'm thinking about it, like, let's say I become Mr. Beast size by the end of this year. that's not gonna stop me. I'm like, 10 years down the line, I don't see myself stopping. I'm still gonna be the fun uncle that helps people out, and I'm still gonna do the dumb shit I do. I'm like, nothing's gonna stop me from making content. And it's like, retiring such not a thing in my vocabulary. Like, I'm not even gonna do it. It's not gonna be something I need to learn. There's no reason.
So here's where the whole misconception is, that retiring as we understand it is based off of a generation who primarily worked one job the entire life. And you probably think where this is going based off my criticism, and you're totally right, so I don't even have to go there. But everybody who retires, they end up having to do something else anyways. So maybe they take up a different profession, one that's a little less strenuous, or they start focusing on their hobbies. So very few people actually sit around and do nothing. Like, you got the people who physically can't do anything, God bless them. But then, most people, they end up finding something to do with their time. Like, so us, we can retire in the sense that, like, we are ending certain phases in our life, whether that is a work pursuit or, in my case, simping. Man, there are so many times I've wanted to simp again. I'm like, no, I'm retired. I'm done. I'm
done.
I've hung up my shoes.
Can't go back
on the shelf. Yeah,
he's going back.
What I want to do is I want to retire from media by the time I'm 40.
But why is that? Write. Like, what do you mean by retiring media when you're 40? Like,
I just don't want to rely on it anymore as my source of income. It's not what I want my identity be tied to.
So what would you want it to be then? Like, obviously, like an actor or something like that, but that could still be in media. But
writing, like for me,
so you
it's
writing. You just want the writing side in your life.
Yeah, my goal, published author, is my next major milestone. Well, survival first, and then
we're all dealing with the survivor side right now.
So like I plug it away on my book, work on it little by little. I like what I've got so far. I can't wait to finish the whole thing. And by that point, obviously, like, I might simp, for a few minutes on the weekend. I could still do the media. I still have the expertise, but I don't want to tie very much of my identity to it anymore. Right now, my identity is almost entirely tied to media.
Yeah.
I would know. I've only applied to like 100 jobs saying that.
I only do social media. Hire me. When you do that 100 times, you kind of get that mindset. But no, that makes a ton of sense. Like, I don't think personally, like, I would want to retire from media, but I would love, like, once again, the streaming side. I do love streaming because I can actually sit back and play certain games, especially when I become successful. But I would love to see eventually, like, Skull Hunter Games went live and I'm watching my team play and not me. I would love to sit there and, like, see videos on, like, a channel and it's not me and it still makes the content grow. It's like, I want to watch that. I want to watch my name become successful and I want to be successful. Like, I'm walking in a video and people are like, holy shit, it's him. Like, I want that mindset of it, but I also don't want to step too far back away to where I would come back in the video and people's like, who is he? He joined. When did he become a member? He was the one. It's like, I joined like a month ago. I don't know who this guy is. Like, I don't want that mindset either. So it's a nice balance. But the streaming end, 100%. I said that since day one. If I had to get rid of one, I would get rid of streaming every day of the week. YouTube is my passion. Wait, what about Rooster Teeth?
So you'd like your main channel be freaking pretty much like Rooster Teeth. We could have a bunch of people be coming in and out and going at random times and being in different things, but the main ones don't have to really be on the camera for anything to be successful. You can just have different people doing different things, and
Yeah, no, I would want it to be like Rooster Teeth, but not make the mistakes. And already I could tell I'm not gonna make the mistakes that they have made, but I'm not gonna ever say I want to be like someone specifically, but in the mindset of like, the best I could say is achievement hunter, because if there's like a live action video, I'm that video. Because let's be honest, if I wasn't in my last 5 videos I made this year, you wouldn't be as interested in watching. Someone could take over my spot, But I've asked so many people, and they all said the same thing. How the fuck did you come up with that? Why did you think this would work? And why did you think like this idea would actually flow in right? And how did you get the editing? How did you do that? How did you do this? Not you and your guys were this, or you and your guys did this so amazingly. It's always been like, how did you get this done? How did you work on it? How did you think of these ideas? So it's like, that's where I want to be, where it's still like my passions, my goals. But the streaming side, I would love to see that become like an achievement hunter kind of a deal where it's running itself. Because there's so much money in gaming, and I could just hop in one day being like, yeah, baby, I'm playing Halo. And it's like, cool, I'm going to play Halo for like 2 hours. And I'd be like, okay, well, you guys got to jump over to Among Us later, so see ya. And walk away and go film something with Ludwig. Like, you know, I would love to have the situation like that. I just want to make my name successful, and I don't have to be there. So if I die, my name will live on. And that's the biggest thing I've always focused on since day one is make the world regret that I'm gone. And it's not like I don't want to be like a president because, well, no. But in the sense, like if Mr. Beast left today, he would be happy of what he's made. And I want to be that point. Already I know I've changed like 20 lives. I want to change 20 million lives. I want to change 20 billion lives. I want to change more lives than what the people know. And that's my main goal. So if I could get that done, you know, this purgatory ain't looking so bad. bring it back. Bring back the purgatory. But yeah, I mean, when it's all said and done, I just want to sit there and focus on the important stuff. So retiring would never be never a thing. But I will tell you this, as soon as I get to that air quote retiring side, I am 100% going to just start building Legos. I am just going to buy every Lego set I can. I'm going to get a collection. I'm going to spend all my money on just Legos and making Legos something. I have a video idea. I've talked about this a little bit, but it has to wait until I hit 100,000. But it's building Mr. Beast a Lego gaming room, truly functioning by Legos. A Lego desk, a Lego chair, and I've already figured out how it would be done, who would need to be involved, how to make this happen. And I was like, I could actually make this happen. And even now, like I'm going to garage sales, kind of like seeing if I can't buy like a big thing of Legos for like $20. I'm like going, you got Lego? Okay, take it. And then like start stockpiling. I already have like a big ass tote full of Legos now. I'm just like, the collection started. I'm starting the collection now. I have a box here full of Legos.
Those freaking flea markets, a hell of a lot cheaper than some of the ones I've seen at freaking Walmart.
Oh yeah, no, that's where I'm going because a lot of the times, like parents and stuff will like get rid of their kids' Legos collection and stuff like that for like they don't know how much they're going for. They're like, we paid $100 for this, and if they have 50 on the box, guess what? You're getting it for 25 because no one else is coming in there going, you got Legos. I want Legos. And they're thinking, because the Grays, they're like, oh, your son likes Legos and you don't have the money. We could do 25. And I'm like, thank you. My son will love this. And I get in the car and I look at my pet monkey with a son name tag on him and be like, here you go, son. I never lie. I think that's what I'll do. If I start telling people like it's for my son needs them, I would 100% do something in the car to where it's like I given it to my son or put it in the room and the room is called my son. So I never lie to anyone. I'm just like, I walk away clean, clean conscience, especially for breaking the law so many years in a row. I was like, nah, I'm gonna walk out the clean life, get that clean life living. But yeah, so it is Independence Day. So what is one outside activity that you love to do when having a cookout barbecue or something like that? What is one outside activity you love to do while you're outside, chilling with the fam or friends?
Hanging around with sparklers or something.
Trying to set people on fire. I love the psychoticness of it. You're like, whoa, I have sparklers. Ooh, should I get them? What the?
I also like making s'mores with my family when we used to go to this one spot my grandparents used to have a campsite at.
Right on, right on. So, make s'mores, play with fireworks. I love it. Joseph.
Like a good chat. You get like 6 to 8 people all kind of on the same page, and then everyone's shooting the breeze. So I like me a good catch-up conversation where like people are talking for a good little while. But I'll tell you what burns my ass though is the minute the conversation splits into two smaller conversations, and like somebody tries to talk to me directly, and I'm trying to pay attention to the large conversation. That just grinds my gears. But yeah, to answer your question, I like me a good chat.
Okay, right on. Honestly, I kind of feel the same way. My favorite is like I love the good chat, but most importantly, like I love trying to be active and like if there's a football around, throw the football. If there's like some like beanbag toss stuff, do that with people, especially strangers. It's a good way to get to know each other. So I love doing things like that. I love being physically active. So yeah, it's just one of the things. But we are getting to the end of the podcast. And guys, if you have, that's something you like to do whenever you're outside, let us know in the comment section down below. And if you say fucking, we'll put your name in the next episode. Because I just want to see the words. So, Charles, where can people find you?
If you want to see like what I was talking about, like the whole reviewing different flavors of Mountain Dew stuff or whatever the heck I feel like uploading, you can go to my YouTube channel, CJ the Lone Wolf.
Right on. Joseph, where can people find you?
Well, first of all, my week's been fine. Actually, like going into something, I actually don't have anything to really talk about. Everything is just kind of,
Ups and downs, trust me, always understand that.
It's like stable enough, right? Like between background, doing Uber, and fish. I mean, I got clients now. Like I'm not starving to death. Like I've got like work coming in. Actually, somebody.
Sorry, go ahead. I was just gonna say that I wish you were an Uber driver here in North Carolina, because that'd be funny if you were one of my drivers.
I would be terrified if Joseph is a driver.
Right, because I don't have a license and I don't like cars. Like, I'm pretty sure everyone here would be terrified of anybody else in front of the wheel. There's three of us, and there's less than like what?
Like real fast. You mentioned...
sorry, guys. The trunk's on fire, but don't worry. I'll get to that.
The red stuff on the front. I hit a watermelon. I think it was moving fast. I don't know. You said Uber. Real fast because I tried to sign up for DoorDash and I needed a physical ID, physical driver's license that don't have. Sign up for Uber. Did you have to like take a photo of your like ID card with it, or did you just want the number?
If I remember correctly, yeah, I had to use an ID card, but here in Ontario, we have government ID that looks like a driver's license, functions like a driver's license, but is not a driver's license. It's just like a basic photo ID. Okay. It's what a person can use if they're a non-driver but need an ID on them, because some places don't accept our health cards, which... I mean, it's kind of ironic to go to a bar to get trashed with a health card and be like, "Here's the thing that I am disregarding. Let me in."
Look at this. Okay, yeah, I have ID cards, but they cut mine in half once I immediately got my driver's license, and they printed out a little receipt. I tried to sign up for DoorDash, and they were like, "Hey, no, we need an actual ID card, not your temp cards, because the temp card the temp sheet only shows you like." It expires in 30 days. So if you don't get your ID card, it's like, it's not valid. So I can't use that. And they cut my ID card. So all I have is my concealed carry now. And I'm like, I don't want to show DoorDash my concealed carry. I think that's showing the wrong message. But where can people, keep talking about your week and then.
But no, that's basically it. Is everybody just, let's just all disappear from the show. Is that what we're trying to do here?
Yeah, as soon as you talk, you leave.
I'm just gonna plug, actually, today I want to plug my TikTok, which is Seth Missed Out on Vine. That's my TikTok. Go to it. It's funny.
Yeah.
I got good stuff on there.
I'm not joking. It's actually funny. We showcased it last week, and I was fucking rolling for a while. It was great. But you can find this podcast at Skull Hunter Podcast wherever you search it up: Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Facebook. It doesn't matter. We are there. We post every single Monday, and once we get things rolling better, we will try to make sure we can get those up sooner. But obviously, because we don't want to keep doing things like this, eventually when the podcast gets up there, maybe we'll be able to do like a live show on Patreon or something like that. and then do the live show there, and then release this a week later. And we might look into that as soon as we start getting some more views for more numbers. But for those of you who are listening, greatly appreciate you. If you want to find me at Skull Hunter Games anywhere you search up, honestly, I had a post go viral today on Instagram, 20,000 views in 10 minutes. You know, it was a good sign. But you know, just follow me on socials. I'm trying to be more active on Twitter. I'm trying to be more active on Instagram. But if there's one place you need to go to find it, it is YouTube. YouTube is my pride and beauty. If there's one thing I won't ever give up in this world, it is YouTube. So guys, I'm gonna light these off, and I need you guys to start screaming for the outro of this podcast.
I'm not gonna be screaming. My voice is hoarse.
I need you
Have
all
fun,
to
though.
scream because I'm about to light my fucking house on fire. Okay.
Oh Jesus.
Oh my god.
I really hope Natalie doesn't show up right now, because you're gonna go after her with that thing.
Oh my god.
There she is.
Oh my god. Okay, hang on. Light, damn it, light. Whoa! Oh shit, it's going everywhere. Oh my god. Goodbye, everybody. I made lava. Oh shit. Oh, there's smoke everywhere.
I don't think this Jordan planned this whole thing out very well.
Or you planned this out perfectly.
And it just went completely wrong. This meatloaf is really good, by the way.
Meatloaf. Oh, I was wondering what that was.
We're good. That went off a lot. It's smoky shit, you know.